Hey everybody, Kenny here. So today I just want to offer up a build start option for anyone who's kind of undecided on what they want to play this league. Obviously this is being recorded before the league goes live. This is my Slayer build, and it is an ailment build based around the Blade Storm skill. So the idea here is that we want to deal the most ailments possible and kind of get majority of our damage going from there. But we are also using Cyclone for the purpose of having additional damage output as well as having a form of sustain. And what I mean by that is that our Cyclone is being supported by life gain on hit, life tap, and mana leech. So we can use it even if we're out of mana. The cost of having life tap, so life tap increases the cost to your life from, so whatever the mana cost was when using life tap, the cost will be increased by 3 times. And in this case, since Cyclone costs 2 mana, so you're talking, you're consuming 6, plus whatever multiplier from life gain on hit and mana leech due to. Well, mana leech definitely doesn't do anything because the whole point of it is that you're getting stuff back, but here that life gain on hit adds a multiplier as well. And so what that does is that, now this costs 7 life instead of 2 mana. But we are, every time we hit an enemy, we are getting back 30 life. And we are also using Butcher's Mark in this build. Now obviously we're not using Butcher's Mark all the time, only on stronger enemies that will take longer to take down. And so the main point here is that we are using it. Sure, like it adds extra physical damage, and cursed enemies have reduced physical damage reduction. So it will deal more damage with physical damage, but that's not really the point. The point is, and the charges aren't the point either. The point is just that we're getting more life and mana on hit. So it's just further sustain when we're in a situation where we're fighting a beefier enemy. And we're using a lot of supports here. When I say supports, I mean a lot of buffs here. So we've got precision, we've got Herald of Agony, we've got Plague Bearer. So the Plague Bearer I'm not really using. If you want to use Plague Bearer, it needs to be active on your bar. I currently don't have it being active because when you use the incubating mode of Plague Bearer, it technically reduces your damage that you're dealing because it. So we'll just get it. 20% less damage with poison while incubating. So, if you actually reach the maximum plague value, then you'll stop incubating, and then that you won't be reducing your damage by 20% anymore. But unless you're regularly remembering to use Plague Bearer in its active form, it's not really doing you any good. So, I have it there for situations where I feel it might be useful, but for the most part, I don't run around with it. I'm also using Summon Ice Golem and War Banner. So it's a very heavy focus on just getting our main hand hit chance as high as possible. So I'm in town right now, so I'm not at 100%. But when I'm out in the field with this up and both of these buffs and both the Precision Aura and our War Banner up, we're guaranteed 100% hit chance. We're at cap with this, even against evasive monsters. for our for our skills, like I said, we have our Cyclone, which is our sustain skill. Then we are using Blade Storm, which we are being supported by Combustion for Ignite chance to poison, and Cruelty. And the reason we're doing that is because in our tree here, we've invested in attack speed, armor and evasion, life and more armor evasion, regen. Here we've invested in attack damage and attack speed, as well as increasing our attack damage while we're leeching. Also, we increase our melee damage when we're in close range. Also, giving ourselves a chance to ignite, so we have a much higher chance to ignite than what we're getting just from combustion. And we're also increasing our fire damage over time multiplier and further increasing our attack speed, as well as recovering life whenever we ignite a non-ignited enemy. Yeah, I did know that. Let's grab some more stats there, grab some more life. And this way, grab all of our damage over time stuff here. So increase ailments, increase damage with ailments, increase duration of ailments, increase our damage over time multiplier. And then here's the big one where we further increase the effect of Cruelty. And what Cruelty does is when you hit with this supported skill, so in this case Blade Storm, you will gain a buff that increases the damage done by your ailments, your damaging ailments, by 40%. And so having that mastery further increases that damage. And so that's the reason why we're using a two-handed weapon here is because you want each hit with Blade Storm to be the hardest hit possible. The more damage you're dealing with your hits, the bigger your Cruelty is going to work based on each of those hits. So you're getting... And the reason we're using Blade Storm is that Blade Storm, while you're in Blood stance, which is the default stance for Blade Storm, you will be causing bleeding. So we're doing bleeding, we're doing poison, and we're doing ignite. And then you can drop down 3 maximum Blade Storms at a time. So the point is, so what we're doing, we're running into a group, we're dropping our Blade Storms, then we're, starting up Cyclone just to keep our health up and restore any mana that we lost while dropping down our Blade Storms, because these are, they're not super expensive, but they're expensive enough that 17 per Blade Storm, and we're dropping 3 Blade Storms each time. It adds up, and we're not really spec'd into any kind of sustain, so having that is good. Gear wise, all I'm running is some armor evasion stuff, some evasion boots, mana regen amulet. Just like I said, we don't have any sustain, so I grabbed an amulet that had some mana regen on it. I grabbed this really nice gold ring that had a ton of flat life and had some mana regen on it. And even my 2-stone ring also has some mana regen on it. So I'm trying to get, trying to get sustain where I don't have it in my build from my equipment and my gems. And yeah, so that's the full setup. I also have this Enduring Cry, which, like I've mentioned in other builds, Enduring Cry is just a great healing option for any build. If you need another reliable source of healing, if you can fit it, I always recommend including it. Have our... Here we go. Good. Got those down. Into win. Now this, like, this zone, well, this zone and the... So, like, I'm so glad they're getting rid of... that we're getting... that, you know, they're taking Arch Nemesis out of the game. Because, obviously, that was some special Arch Nemesis mob there. And I couldn't tell that it was a special Arch Nemesis mob. Because it was some tiny thing. And I literally couldn't even tell it was there. Until it died and dropped those. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been killed by Arch Nemesis mobs because they're so small that I can't tell that it's an Arch Nemesis mob. Yeah, so... Oh. That's interesting. That is a funny placement for the Delirium mirror. Yeah, but like this... at this area and the... What's the name? Oh, like the coast, the... not the tidal islands, but the... I'm forgetting the name of the areas, but again, like where all the Roas used to be, and now it's all like all the corrupted Karui are there now. Then you go. I'm terrible with names, so I can't remember. But like basically, like these are like very, so here, and here are very dangerous areas, and the reason they're so dangerous is that there are a lot of these enemies have like you can see, like they're kind of like their bow hand thing there. Like those enemies, they can snipe you from off screen, and there's no way for you to tell like where they're coming from because the like the projectiles they use. Like the projectiles those enemies use, you know, they drop from the sky. They don't drop like from an angle. So, like a lot of times, like, you know, like you'll be fighting, like if one of them happens to spawn with a really bad modifier, then you'll just, you know, get gibbed from without knowing what, you know, what actually hit you. Oh well. I missed it, but okay. Yeah, but as you can see, you know, like really nice play style. Like, you know, you drop down your storms, start spinning. You know, like you stay up. Oh, and so, like the reason that I grabbed all those stats is actually specifically because of combustion. Because combustion is an intelligence skill. So, if you want to get the most out of your ignites, then you definitely want to include combustion. And you know, like having as many damage types as possible is always a good idea for any build. Because if you focus on one thing and then an enemy shows up that is immune to the one thing that you're good at, that's a rip on your build, unfortunately. Yeah. So that's the build. It's a very very interesting means of getting constant damage out without having to do a lot of investment. You know, like this sword that I made is probably like the biggest. Oh, I'd say probably this sword and this ring here are probably like the most important things that I'm wearing right now. Because this rolled incredibly. I mean, 70 life on a level 35 ring. Well, I mean, what's the item level on this? Item level 44. Yeah, so I mean, that's really good flat life for a level 44 ring. I guess this is just all right. There's nothing. I didn't roll anything crazy here. And we got, you know, decent resistances on it, but in terms of armor evasion, nothing crazy. Like, these gloves are terrible. I'm only using them because I already had them on. They have attack speed on them, and they have resistance on it. That's the only reason I kept it. And, you know, obviously the links as well. And the boots, nothing crazy. Just some evasion on it. They don't do anything of worth. You know, and then I have more resistances here, but mostly is for the regen and the flat life. And this evasion hat that, once again, nothing special. Like, the only good piece of equipment I really have is this sword, which I'm really proud of this one. Because I actually made this for my Scion back when it was I was using the old setup for that character was that I was doing Sanguinate and actually, I think it was just Exsanguinate, but I was doing I forget it was Cast on Crit, or I was doing Battle Mage's Cry, but I was triggering the Exsanguinate somehow. But, you know, but the whole idea was, you know, like I was doing a build that was meant to do Ignite and Bleed, were the two, so physical and fire were the two damage types for that build. And so I had made this sword, and it turned out great. I mean, it wasn't a huge investment either. This was actually made this like real easy, but it, you know, it has great for an item level 36. This is an amazing weapon. But yeah, but definitely I recommend trying this build out. Like if you haven't decided on what you want to do, then, you know, this is a great option for you. I mean, obviously, Bladestorm and Cyclone don't become available until level 28. But, you know, but for the early levels, you know, Cleave is a great option if you want to do a two-handed weapon build. You know, there's running Cleave with oh, I guess multi-strike, I think, is also a level 28 skill. So yeah, actually, of what I'm wearing, I think the only things you can really get are probably Enduring Cry, Cleave, Combustion, I think, is available pretty early. And some to Poison's definitely available early. Poacher's Mark, I think, comes available in Act 2. And the Herald of Agony also Act 2. Plague Bear, I don't recall. And Precision, I think, yeah, I think that becomes available Act 1. But aside from that, you know, like this, like, you know, like you can get the majority of this together pretty early, and I don't believe any of this is something that you wouldn't be able to get as a duelist. I just get to Act 3 right now. Pretty sure all those skills are available from Clarissa here. There's Blade Storm right there. There's Cyclone right there. So, yeah. So, like, what else did I say was missing here? There's Mana Leech, Life Leech. I'm not using Life Leech, though. Life Tap. I think Life Tap comes available in Act 1 now. Yeah. Yeah, so you don't have to worry. So I think that's an earlier game skill as well. It's really just like, you know, so you have to wait till Act 3 to get the attack skills. Wait till Act 4 to get your golem. Aside from that, everything else, you know, you should have access to pretty early. Yep, so that's gonna be it for me. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, appreciate doing all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.